All right, Carl, thanks. Jacob, Jim. Well, I can't even pronounce all these names because there's so many of you saying hello. Hold on, let me just see that. There we go. Ricky, Paul, James, Marco, Tyler. Good, good, good. Well, guys, thank you very much. My name is Fausto Pugliese, president and founder of Cybertrade University. Today's topic is what institutional traders know that small traders don't. Now, I'm going to be covering some very, very disturbing news, and I'm not in a bad way. It's actually in a good way, because that's why we're here. We're here to learn why are we not trading profitably, and why are we making so many mistakes? What are we actually doing wrong to prevent that? And those are the things that we want to talk about. We want to talk about some of the great trades that we've traded, just like Jacob just mentioned, by the BIOC today that we traded. We'll talk a little bit about that. There's a lot of great stocks that we're looking at and we're trading, but most importantly, we need to make sure if this is for us and making sure we know how to do it right. Okay. Now, one of you just asked that, is this recorded? Yes, it is. At the end of this presentation, it will be posted by the end of the day for your listening pleasure. And if you want to give it to your friends or whatever, best investment, best gift you can give to somebody is to come and listen to this presentation, because what you're about to learn, ladies and gentlemen, today is what you're going to realize that you should have never, ever made your first trade, and you are in the best business in the world. So this is my question to all of you. Who here loves trading? Who here loves trading? Oh, come on. If you don't love trading, I'm just going to be honest, just log out. Because if you don't love what you do, you're never going to be successful at it. You know, if you don't look forward waking up in the morning and win or loss, if you don't love it, you're never going to be good at your job, because this is trading. Thank you very much. Scott, Noel, Trevor, Mark Miles, nice to see you again. Cheryl, Ian, all of you guys. Good. That's what I want you guys to realize, because loving at what you do is what's going to make you successful. Now, my goal today, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do for the next hour is I want to educate you guys a little bit about the power of trading and know exactly what trading is about and why people are failing and how to prevent to not be part of that failure. So let me change the slide here, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of things we're going to be learning. What is trading? What high-frequency trades are? We're going to talk about the KISS method, stocks that we've traded, what brokerage firms do not want you to know, and so much more. I mean, it's going to be endless. We have a lot to talk about and educate you guys about. All right, so just a quick little info about Cybertrade University and about myself. First of all, I don't know if anyone here has read my book that came out, How to Beat Market Makers at Their Own Game. If you like, at the end of the presentation, I'll tell you where you can find out about it. But I've been teaching for over 20 years. Okay, I love what I do. I love teaching more than anything, and the only reason why I love teaching and teaching guys, traders like you, is because before I was a successful trader, I was a successful loser. Now, I've been teaching people for over 20 years, and what I've learned on the first day on the job, I should have never made my first trade, okay? Now, I surround myself with some of the best traders in the world, okay, because the thing is, great traders never stop learning. So, Joe, thank you very much. Joe's telling me a great book. Well, thank you very much, Joe. And you know what? The cheapest trade you could make is probably buying my book and reading it to know a little bit about it, but better than that, like Joe has mentioned, I'm going to invite all of you to come and watch some live trading in the market. Now, like I just mentioned, I was one of the original day traders that started. I've been teaching for over 20 years, and over the years I became a 12-time champion trading in the market. I beat every single school. Now, trading is simple. It's not easy, but trading is very, very simple, and I want you guys, and what you're about to learn, what I'm going to cover today is I'm going to show you how simple it is. So just to know, now you know a little bit about me, guys, I want to know a little bit about you, okay? So could everyone just give me a chat back and let me know, are you a stock trader, options, futures, Forex? What kind of trader is everyone here? Okay, Linda's a swing trader, stock options. Cheryl does Forex, stock options. Okay, good. We got a lot of very diversified people in here. That's excellent. Okay, that's good. And you know, it's nice that everyone tries a little bit of everything, because you don't really know how good you are until you actually what you like until you try it. You know, you could be eating vanilla ice cream all day long, and then for the first time someone introduces you to chocolate, you're like a little kid. They're like, wow, I thought vanilla was the only thing I liked. So it's the same thing. You always should get a flavor of everything, and then basically go from there. Now, I'm going to ask everyone a personal question, and I want you to be honest with me. Are you really, how are you really doing in the market? Are you meeting your expectations? Are you really doing good? Or, are you making money? Are you losing money? I mean, let's be honest, everyone. I just want to know. Peter says averaging no losses. Okay. Giovanna says I'm just learning. David says I'm consistent losing. Tina says I'm losing. Not good. Okay, from John. Learning. All right, well, some of you say you're doing okay. You're not doing great. But you know what? You know what's great about it? This is my why I ask this question. Every one of you, there's over 200 plus people in here, and every one of you, even though you're losing money, you still love doing this. And the reason why you're here is because you're trying to find the right guy that could teach you how to do it right. And that's what I'm about to show you. So if you want to be successful, the first thing we need to do is we need to learn before we could earn. That's the most important thing. So I think everybody already went through one of the first trials of education, and that's trying it. And we all know when you try it, and you're going to love it, but the thing is now you need to know how to do it. So the first step of education, which is not the right way to trade, is that everybody out there went out there and started to try it and see if they like it. Technically, really, that's not the right way to start it. The right way to do it is you go to school and learn from somebody, and then you go out there and try it. But you're here this far, so we're safe. All right. Now, why 90% of the traders lose money in the market is because no one ever trained them. No one ever trained you how to do it. But you know what? As much as you lose, you want to keep doing it. So we're going to fix that problem. So what a brokerage, and one of the problems that need to be fixed, which is one of the #1 biggest failure rates of the industry, is that everybody out there wants to go out there and open up a brokerage firm, okay? And they start trading. Now, there's a lot. Now, brokerage firms know their marketing. They're very, very good at marketing. They'll keep just using that word free, 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 free. Free this, free that, free this. Free, you know what free is? Free is cheese in a mousetrap, okay? So one thing my father always taught me, he says, son, you want nothing for free, okay? If I had to pay $1 versus to go on the free line versus the dollar line, I would cut the line by 90%, okay? So you got to understand something. Nobody works for free. Nobody. There's no such thing as free employees, it just doesn't exist. There's no such thing as free taxes. It doesn't exist, okay? Anyone here owns a business knows you have to make an investment, all right? So the thing about brokerage firms, then why are they doing it for free? I'll tell you why they're doing it for free. Is because they're trading against you. Now, I want you to understand something. I'm going to teach you the basics of trading in this webinar, okay? But you first have to understand what and why how are people making money that work for free? Well, the way they do it is they start telling you about cheap tickets, okay? They start showing you, we give you free tickets, trading tickets. But how do they make money? Well, this is how they do it. Has any of you here ever heard of something called payment for order flow? Ever heard of payment for order flow? Anyone? A few people. Wow, look at all the no's I'm getting. Well, there's obviously not too many of you. I see a lot of students are coming in. They know what it is. Let me tell you, when you know what payment for order flow is, you're going to finally realize why brokerage firms want your business. And let me explain to you in step-by-step basis, okay? Let me get my crayon. Here we go. Here's your order, okay? So you open up a brokerage account with an online broker, and what you're doing, you're technically sending them an email, okay? And with that email, they're going to get that order from you, and they're going to take it, and they're going to try to sell it to another brokerage firm. and that is called payment for order flow. They're getting paid for sending order flow to someone else. Now, if they can't sell to any of their buddies on the floor of the exchange, then it goes to the firm's the firm makes a market in it from the order routing system. They're going to check and see if they have stock and inventory. Now, does anyone here anyone ever hear the phrase dark pools? Anybody know what a dark pool is? Okay. Basically, a dark pool is the brokerage firm is trading the stock within its own account. Okay. So they're not even buying the stock in the market. They're going out there and they're selling you their own inventory. Now, if they don't have stock and inventory, then it goes to the trading desk. They're going to try to buy it on the bid, sell it to you on the offer. They'll make the spread, and then over here they'll make that $2 ticket, $5, whatever it is. So think about all this work to get to here. That's why they're going to try to make as much as they can, and as they work their way down the tree, they make less and less and less until your order gets executed. Now, when I change my slide here, this is an order I did with Scottrade. Okay. Now, I placed an order. Just want to show you how these orders work. Okay. I placed an order with Scottrade at 226, right? And you could see right here when I placed that order here on the chart, the stock was at 31.40. By the time they sent me an email notification 2 minutes later, I ended up getting executed and buying the stock at 31.50. Now, at the end of the day, that 2 minutes cost me $150, but I got a great deal at $7 a ticket. Now, what's a better deal? You know, the $7 ticket or paying $150 more for the trade? You know, so think about it. What works better for you? Right? It's to get it executed a lot better. That's basically what you want. You want to get a better execution with the trade. So that's where people make the mistakes. You know, that's where people get their. Hold on. That's where people lose their money, and that's not what you want to do. So, how do you prevent that? Well, that's where direct access comes into play. So sometimes you have to take matters in your own hands. If you want to change for the better, you know, go out and do it yourself. So that's where direct access comes in. So anyone here know what direct access is? Anybody know what direct access is? No. Okay. Direct access means you have instant access to the market. Let me put in layman terms. You got public transportation, and you could drive your own car. All right? Public transportation, it's cheap. You know, they got the vehicle. They could take you anywhere you want. I love public transportation. But we know we can't run a family by dealing with public transportation. That's why we have driver's license, and that's why we have our own car. Now, driving your own car obviously is not cheap, okay? You got gas, you got insurance, you got to buy the vehicle, you got liability. I mean, if you really think about all the problems that come with driving a car, it's kind of scary. You're better off putting your hands in someone else. But at the end of the day, you know that to run a family is like running a business, and you can't be successful by depending on public transportation. Can't, you know, you try to explain that to a pregnant woman. Oh, honey, I didn't want to buy the car because it was cheaper to wait for the $2.50 bus, okay? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work. So direct access basically is taking matters in your own hands, and that's why a lot of you guys are here. You want to start taking matters in your own hands. You want to start placing your own orders, because understand something. Nobody is going to care about the trading more than you. Nobody. Nobody's going to care about your money more than you. All right? You hear these people, you know, you hear about these brokerage firms, how much money they make. I don't know if you guys ever watch, you know, Living in the Hamptons, some of those reality shows. Everybody here on Long Island where I live, They have these $100 million homes, $200 million. I mean, where do these people get their money? They're all money managers. And all they're doing is you're giving them money, and they're just basically trading it. So they're making the 5% a day, and you're making the 5% a year. Doesn't really sound like a good deal. And a lot of you, that's why you're here, because you're starting to realize that. And that's where we come in. This is where we come in and we start teaching you how to trade, okay? So now where do people make mistakes? Let's talk about charts. Does anyone here know how to read charts? Who here knows how to read a chart? Wow, everybody's just typing yes. Look at that. Everybody here is like, and just out of curiosity, when you guys use charts, what kind of charts, what do you use for your charts? Any special, indicators? Anything, anyone use anything that MACDs? Okay, John. Stochastics? Okay, good. Peter used the iCloud. Stu uses candlesticks. Wow, it's amazing. Moving averages for day. Everyone has like a different system. Look at that. Not too many of you are coming up with the same answer. All right. Well, let me kind of give you a little history about trading. Okay. Oh, hold on one second. I just got to put a stock symbol in one of my trading accounts. There's a stock that's making a big move that I've been watching, CHGG. Just want to put that in my chat room. All right, just to let you know, this is my trading room, and just putting the stock in here, CHGG. These are some. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about this a little bit later. I want to confuse you, but this is my trading room, and these are all my my students that I've trained, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit later how you can come and join us trading together in that trading room. All right, so anyway, let me get back to it. Don't want to jump around, but about when it comes to using indicators, the problem with indicators is that they're laggers, okay? And then what ends up happening, you get confused and you don't even know what you're doing. You don't know if you should follow this indicator, that indicator, this indicator. You're all over the place, okay? This is where people get themselves in trouble. They just don't know which one to use. So when it comes to trading, hold on, let me just fix this right here. Oh, there we go. Okay. What ends up happening, people start getting confused, and now they start trying to find the next best crystal ball out there. Now, when you watch the floor of the New York Stock Exchange and you see on CNBC and you look at the floor, you'll notice you don't see too many indicators out there, okay? But what you do see is numbers, and that's what you're supposed to follow, which is what we're going to talk about. But the problem is everybody thinks they have to learn that indicator, and then you end up looking, and start realizing, what am I looking at? How do I know? Is this the one to watch? Should I do this one? Should I use that one? Is this the right one? Why am I making money? Why am I losing money? And then, all of a sudden, you get very, very confused, and you're sitting there trying to figure out, what am I doing right and what am I doing wrong? I mean, why am I making money? Why am I losing money? But you keep going back to that indicator. Well, to be a successful trader, you got to learn how to do things and keep it very simple, okay? Because if you don't, then you're going to be like this baby scratching your head and be confused looking at the screen, and you don't want to be like that. You want to be able to go out there and do it right. So let me get the screen up. Let me just make sure I got, oops. Hold on, I just want to do a quick update really quick here. There you go. All right. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, what we teach here at Cybertrain University, we teach you what's called the KISS method. It's called Keep It Super Simple. And by keeping things simple, it'll just make things a lot easier to know when to get in and when to get out in the market. When to see buyers, when to see sellers, just understanding how to draw trend lines. But this is the most important question out there. Okay, because I know a lot of you guys know how to read charts, but now the next thing you have to ask yourself, where does this data come from? What if I was to tell you that everything that you've learned, you could be ahead of everyone just by knowing where the data is? I mean, what actually makes these indicators move? Okay, and it's movement of the money and movement and timing during the day, and what we're going to talk about next. All right, now. The baby's so cute, Judy. Thank you very much. Well, listen, she's cute, but at the end of the day, we don't want to be like him and be very confused, because sometimes we feel like a little kid. I was just talking to I was talking to a group the other day, and people tell me it's like, listen, Fausto, I'm willing to start from scratch, whatever it is. That's okay. You're like a little kid, in a way of you starting kindergarten, and we all have to start somewhere. That's the way you have to look at it. But now let me tell you what you're supposed to do, all right? Trading is a part-time job. It's not a full-time job. All right. When it comes to trading, there's a very small window of opportunity when you're supposed to trade and when you're not supposed to trade. 90% of your time is spent on education. 10% of your time is spent on trading the market. Now, when you think about it, you're like, 10% doesn't sound like a lot. Well, because there's only certain times during the market when stocks make their big moves. Like, for example, did anybody see this stock today, BIOC? Did anybody see this stock right here that traded this morning? Okay. So anyway, I'll tell you a little bit about this stock right here. This was a stock that, that our members in the cyber group room was trading, and we found it early in the morning, and if you could see right here, ladies and gentlemen, let me get my pointer out here. If you see right here, right around 9:30, right here in the morning, the stock ran from 255 and ran all the way up to 310. Now, when you do the math on 1,000 shares, that's 75 cents. 75 cents in a matter of what, 5 minutes? Even if you got out at 3, you still made 50 cents. So that is where you get most of your move right there, okay? Now, if you made 50 cents, it's not bad for a day's pay, 50 cents. And it's not a lot of money to risk, but the point that I'm trying to get to is that the timing during the day, most of the action happens within the first hour of the morning. A few of you are saying you got some audio issues. If you have any audio issues, best thing to do is just log out and log back in, okay? Linda? All right, let's look at this stock right here, GTLS. Does everybody see this one? GTLS? Okay, good. Now, if you look down here all the way to the left, look at the bottom. It says 935. You see that? That's when the market opened up. So this stock went from $32 in a matter of 15 minutes, ran to $36. Now, did anybody find this stock GTLS this morning? Anyone? Not a lot of you. Okay. Well, that's okay. But the reason why is what I'm going to show you next is how to find them. Now, I have a really good question that came across here, and Peter had a really good thing. He says, unless you're trading before market, it's impossible to trade regular trades and buy in the first minute and sell 2 minutes later. Peter, that's an excellent question. Peter, did anyone teach you how to trade? Did you ever take any courses with anybody? Just give me a quick yes or no. You're self-taught. All right, listen, that's fine, because I think most people try to be self-taught. So now you have to ask yourself, Peter, that's why you're here. You're here because you're here to learn, because you're self-taught. But if I could tell you that I could teach you how to read pre-market and know that that stock was going to make its move before it did, what's that worth to you? Is that worth anything to you? It's good with you, right? Okay, good. Because at the end of this presentation, Peter, I'm going to tell you and I'll show you live in the market to see these things make their move before everyone else does. And you know what? I guarantee it. How about that? So don't go anywhere. We still got a lot. I'm going to show you how to get involved with that, okay? But the thing I'm trying to point to you here is timing during the day. That's the most important thing. So, it's funny. People always ask me, they say, Fausto, if you're such a great trader, why do you teach? And they don't want to, say, don't take offense to that. I said, no, it's a great question to ask. And I try to tell them that I started about when I was 22 years old, and when I finally learned how to trade and I had someone mentor me, I was already semi-retired at the age of 24. It really wasn't too healthy for a 24-year-old to be semi-retired. So people kept asking me, could you teach them how to trade? And I just heard so much negativity of people trying to be self-taught, negativity, people losing money, hearing these phrases, it's a 90% failure rate. And I'm like, and all I knew is like, the only reason why people fail and lose money is because of ignorance. They don't want to learn. They want to be self-taught, which is, listen, it's okay, guys. I'm not trying to insult anybody here. But listen, I was guilty of it too. But until you find the right guy to teach you and realize, you know what? I love this job. I'm here. I wake up every morning, and I don't understand. I never failed at anything, but why can't I figure this out? Because no one ever trained you. So that's why I love to teach. And that's why I'm doing my event right now at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, because I was done within the first hour of the market. And this is what I do in the middle of the day. I teach wonderful people like you, and try to educate everybody to realize that this is the greatest job in the world, and then just hopefully I'll get the opportunity to teach you how to do it. Now, question for everyone. How do stocks go up and down in the market? Can everyone answer that question? Everybody should be able to answer this question. If you cannot answer this question, I recommend you to quit trading immediately. I'm telling you, for your own good, just quit. Good. If you say supply and demand, you got the question right. Now, this is the catch. To follow supply and demand, you have to follow the money. Now, do you see supply and demand on a chart, everybody? Do you see buyers and sellers on a chart? No. Okay, but everybody wants to read a chart, so let's look at the chart. All right. So here we have an example of a chart, and it's after the fact, right? Well, we don't want to see after the fact. So let's look at does everybody see the chart really quick? Does everybody see the chart on the screen that I have up there? Okay, good. All right, so we're looking at the chart, and let me get my pointer right here. So we're looking at the stock right here, and it went from like 290 down to 292, and now the stock is back up to 297, right? So looking at where the stock is right now, what do you guys think the stock's going to do? Is it going to go up or down? What do you think? Up or down? Well, Trevor says, who knows? Most people are saying up, most people are saying down, but some of you are saying, who knows? Well, you better know. Otherwise, you don't want to be trading a stock, right? You don't want to be trading the market. That's why you're here. This is why people lose money. You need to know. You better know, or you better not trade. So, but here we go. Most people look at a chart and they're like, oh, it looks like it's going up, so the trend is up. Okay, but how do you know it's really going up? And if it is, what's making it go up? I could tell you I tell you this, it's not Fausto, it's not you, John, it's not CNBC, okay? What it is, okay, when it comes to trading, it's what we call buying and sellers, supply and demand, big money, okay. So now let's look at this over here on the right. We call this level 3, okay? Now with level 3, this data is available. It's not the Fausto Pugliese, Nachi, the cyber trader. This is level 3. It's offered by the exchanges. Okay, so these are your buyers. Oops, hold on. Let me get my crayon colors out. Wrong colors. Okay, these are your buyers, and these are your sellers. Okay, see that? Buy orders, sell orders. Okay, these are the shares. Okay, and and as the shares go, these are all the shares that are looking to be bought, and at what price? And these are all the shares are looking to be sold, at what price? Okay, now, do you guys notice anything unusual about, what's the first thing that catches your eye when you look at this thing? Can anybody tell me? What's the first thing? No, this is not level, Peter, this is not level 2. Level 2 only shows you 1/10 of the volume. All right, let's see if you guys can figure it out. Anyone notice anything unusual about the level 3 that stands out? All right, so if you said on the buy order, and if you said if you saw the 75,000 share buyer at 297, you are correct. Okay. Now, what's more predominant, the 75,000 share buyer or the 2,000 share seller? Who could beat who at a tug of war? What will drive this stock, the buyer or the seller? The buyer at 75,000 or the seller at 2,000? The buyer. The buyer, obviously. Remember, didn't we just say supply and demand? Okay, so there's your answer. So if you said the stock is going up, you're correct. But it's not because the chart said so. It's because it's the buyer that said so. Now, let's think about this for a second. Guys, how much smarter, better, and more money would you have made if you were able to follow and see the buyers out there in the stock that you're trading? I mean, what is that worth to you? Is that worth anything to anybody? I mean, if every trade you could see, if you could see the big block orders, I mean, think about it. How many times are you in a trade and you thought it was going up and the thing goes down? And then when you sell it, the damn thing goes up. And sometimes you think that there's somebody watching you, you know? It's worth a Starbucks a day. I agree with that because you know what? It is that cheap, that data. All right, so here we go. So that's basically what we're looking for, and these are what we call high-frequency trades. Does anybody know what a high-frequency trade is? Peter says, I never saw level 3 with my online broker in Canada. Well, Peter, that's why you're here. And by the way, Peter, I'm up in Canada 4 or 5 times a year. You know, I've been coming up there for 15 years. You know, you could probably see me at a bunch of the expos. I go up there. I do a lot of public speakings up there. And once again, remember what I told you, Peter, and this goes for everybody in the beginning of this presentation. Your online broker does not want you to see this data. Why? Because he doesn't want you to know what's going on. He doesn't want you to know how he's making money off you. It's just part of the game, you know? But they give you free tickets. You know, everybody wants a good deal, right? Well, remember what I told you, the only good deal is, you know, is the deal that's in the mousetrap, and that didn't work too well for the mouse. So when it comes to trading, ladies and gentlemen, we call these are the high-frequency trades. They're called high-frequency trading, HFTs. Now, you know what? They came out with a good fancy name about it, but this is no different than what I was trading on Instinet. If you ever read any of the old books, we used to trade on something called Instinet. This is where the institutions trade. Then they called it the ECN book, Electronic Communication Network book. Here at Cyber Trading University, we'll show you how to place orders out there. We'll show you how to be part of those orders. We'll show you how to get out of those orders. The thing that you have to understand is that every single one of you are here for one reason, and that's just not to learn. That is to have an edge to make money. That's why you're here. And what my goal today is to educate all of you to make you realize that most of you are trading blind. And I would never give my money to someone that's trading blind. So hopefully by you seeing some of these things and some of these features and realize like, wow, it's like a light bulb just kicked in. Now I get it. You know, you follow the money, you know, you follow the money and that will drive, and then you would understand why these stocks bounce off supports and resistance levels. You know, and this applies for stock trading, options trading, Forex trading, every type of trading. Rita says level 2 is different than level 3. Yes. Level 3 gives you 20 times more data. Okay, you get to see 20 times more orders. Peter, listen, when I'm done with you, you won't need any indicators. Okay? And once again, the best traders in the world are the guys you're watching right now on the floor of CNBC. They're on the floor of the exchange because they broadcast there, right? You know, why do you think they broadcast there and they're not broadcasting in some, you know, on Hollywood squares? You know, they're there because that's where the money's being traded. If you look what they have, they keep things very, very simple, okay? I mean, if you're looking at CNBC right now, look how many charts are on those screens. You guys see charts back? Don't look at the pretty girl, okay, and the two good-looking guys. Look behind them. How many charts did you see? Not that many. They're looking at orders. That's right, Peter. So don't take it like Fausto is a genius. Listen, I was trained by those guys. I was one of them. So I'm trying to educate you that some people need to know how to play the games a little bit better. We just put in a better way of educating people, and that's why, once again, like I told you earlier, that's why I was a 12-time champion, and I beat every single school. Not because I got lucky, it's because I'm a trader. Jacob, well, thank you very much. I appreciate your comments, Jacob. But if you could hear from my voice, I just love doing this. I really enjoy it. I love giving you guys the edge because everyone keeps saying, "Oh, you're competing against Wall Street." Well, you know what? You're Main Street, and the government and all the exchanges want you guys to have access to the same stuff. All right. So anyway, not to waste too much time here, but point taken is that when you're looking at a chart right here, okay, and you're trying to figure out and says, okay, well, is that really support levels there? Is the stock really going up? But meanwhile, you're seeing over the intraday, the stock is going up. Well, how do you know? Well, the only way to know is if there are orders out there. You got to have a game plan. That is what you got to look at. Game plan, game plan, game plan. Fellow traders, I want you to understand is that you are competing against the 10 million people out there every day, okay? And the only way you're going to succeed is that you beat the other guy on the other side, okay? And the only way you're going to beat somebody is having that edge, okay? Now, all of you are, in my opinion, are professionals. You're trying to be a professional because you want to be good at your job. You don't want to stink at your job. You want to be great at your job. And to be great at your job, you have to surround yourself with great traders. And that's what we feel we are at Cyber Trading University, okay? And if nobody believes me, I'll go up against any trader out there. I'm not afraid, okay? I've done them and I've beat them. And the reason why is because to be successful, you have to show people you could do it. And being a great trader, you have to learn from great traders. You have to surround yourself with great traders. Being self-taught is very, very difficult. You can't win too many races in the Indy 500 being self-taught. You can't win too many Super Bowls just because, you think that you're a good football player in high school. Because every single one of you, if you notice, every successful professional athlete learned from a mentor. Okay, and you all know that because you've all worked in your lives. A couple of questions coming across here. I don't want to kind of blow them off, but let me kind of answer some of these questions. Let me just read them off. Peter says, do we work off 1-minute charts, or can we be done with a 60-minute chart? Peter, 60 minutes is 60 minutes too late, okay? Depending on you're a swing trader or an investor, but does not work for day trading. Bill, do you just ask your brokerage firm a level 3? Bill, you know what? This is what you do. You call your brokerage firm up. You tell them that you were in a course with Cyber Trading University. He showed me about the high-frequency trades, and and just tell them, don't even mention level 3. So how do I follow the high-frequency trades? Just explain to them. How do I find them? How do I follow those level 3s? And then they're going to be like, you can't. And that's when you know right then and there, Bill, you got an account with the wrong brokerage firm, okay? Because they won't want you to tell you that. Remember, we don't work for them, okay? I work for you. Cyber Trading University works for you. We're not in the brokerage business, all right? I am in the trading business, and I'm in getting you to be in the successful trading business too. Now, regarding about the high-frequency trades, Tawaldi wants me to just kind of explain this really quick right here. And let me kind of go a little bit slow so you guys can understand a little bit better, okay? Now, you see this right here at $5? Okay, that is a previous resistance level. What made the stock go down is not because the chart said so, is because somebody was a seller. And you could see how the stock came back down to 460 and now went back to 5, okay? Now you notice it's at 495. Well, the reason why it's going down is because the 500 share seller or the 1,000 share seller is not preventing it from going higher. Somebody has to execute the guy at 14,000 and 13,000 and 6,000. That is a lot of shares. You're talking literally over 20,000 shares out there looking to be sold. The stock will not go up unless somebody executes that guy or he cancels his order. And if you look over here on time and sales, now you can see a lot of reds going on. That means that there's a lot of orders on the bid getting executed. So people are actually selling it. These are transactions that are taking place. So the thing is, you get to see where the orders, you have a game plan, you know when to get in, when to get out. And that is trading 101. All right? That's the way how you have to look at it that way. Do all your stops show up there? Linda has a great question. Do all my stops show up there? Can they take me out? Linda, this is the beauty about trading, okay? First of all, it all depends on who your brokerage firm is. Are you doing it an online broker or are you dealing with direct access? And the thing is, Linda, you'll be able to see your order out there, okay? Anyone here put limit orders out there? Of course. Guess what? All your orders being exposed, okay? And we all know sometimes you don't want to advertise your order because if everyone else is doing it, all you're going to do is you're exposing yourself and you're actually doing yourself a disjustice, and you end up losing money on that trade. Let me see a couple of questions here. Okay, David has a question regarding a respectful question. I see a lot of spoofs in books and depths of market window. A few minutes ago in Apple, there was a buyer of $132 was disappeared at the last split second. I also seen its sell orders. You know, I know exactly where you're going with this, David. First of all, I don't trade Apple. And I don't fall off your chair. I just feel, why should I go out there and trade a $132 stock when I could trade a stock like, let me go back to my trading room, okay, a stock like CHGG, and the stock goes from 740 up to 830, and when you look at it, the stock literally moved up, you know, over the course of the day, was up 24%. You got to understand something. I am in the making money business. I'm not in the, oh, I have to trade Apple business. You understand? You know, there's 25,000 stocks that trade out there. Why is everybody trade, you know, Apple and Micron and the VIX and the Facebook and the QQQs? What about BIOC? What about, you know, CHGG? Why are you here? You're here to make money. That's why you're here, okay? So the thing is, how do we find these stocks? That's the next question, okay? So what did we learn so far? We learned that most of us, 50% of you lose money because you have an account with the wrong brokerage firm, okay? That's 50% of the failure rate. The other 50% of the failure rate, people that lose money, is they're being self-taught, okay? And we all know we're not giving our money to someone to self-taught our money, right? You wouldn't give your money to some guy that says, oh, how'd you learn how to trade? Oh, I'm self-taught. Guess what? We're doing the same thing, and we don't want to do that anymore, right? The next thing a lot of you are realizing, you're reading charts, but you're not realizing what makes these charts move is the movement of the stock, supply and demand. We've learned that with high-frequency trades. Timing during the day. We've learned a lot of us are sitting there trading all day, which you can't do. Trading is a part-time job. It's not a full-time job. Most of your time should be spent on learning. But finding the stocks, let's talk about that. Finding stocks, when it comes to trading, what we do is at the end of this presentation, now listen to me carefully. Okay, let me explain to you how I mentor and I train my students. I run a professional trading room, and I do a live audio broadcast every morning at 9 a.m. in the pre-market, and it's recorded, okay? So if you miss it, you want to come back in the afternoon, you can go jump back in. But what I do right there, ladies and gentlemen, is we work together like a team. I teach my students to be traders themselves, all right? So we work together like a team. We make our money over the course of the day, and then we go back and learn how to trade. So, and the way we find these stocks is we scan the market, and we trade pretty much what's on the big percentage gainers and losers list. That's it. You got to remember, if there's no volatility in the market, you're not going to make any money in the market. And that's the way it looks like. Rickard says the presentation looks very educational. Will there be a link to recording available for review? Yes, Rick. After this event, about an hour or so, we produce it, and when you log into Cyber Trading University, you'll have access to it on our YouTube channel. Okay. Now, just out of curiosity, has anyone ever? And I apologize. I'm going to try to answer some more questions. There's there's almost close to over 200 to 300 people coming in and out. There's a question coming every 15 seconds, so I'm trying to answer it as fast as I can. If I don't get to your question, once again, I apologize, but I'm going to try to answer. I'll try to answer them at the end of the presentation if I missed it. Okay. So anyway, let's talk about something that everyone likes to see. Have any of you guys ever been in a professional trading room? Do you ever watch like live trading and see professional traders and students trade and actually see them making money? Anyone ever been like on the floor and watch these traders and explaining why they're getting in and out of this? Not too many of you. Rick, you haven't. Okay. Troy, okay. Carl has. Okay. Hugh has because you're a student. Question is, how do you teach sessions during trading or teach them after hours? We teach them in the middle of the day, just like we're doing right now at the slow time of the day. So how many of you here would like to join and see what a real trading room looks like? Well, let me explain to you some of the stocks that we've traded. Okay, first of all, I'll tell you how to get in. But first, let me tell you some stocks that we traded. Anybody see the stock CAPN? Last week, this was one of our big winners in our trading room. Anyone see this stock? It went from $2 to $8. Anyone get a piece of that one? I could tell you this, Apple didn't go up, 400% in a week. Okay? So once again, big movers, big movers. The question is, why is it up? You think I care? People said, it's funny, I was watching one of my, I had a student, not a student, I had a critic, okay, come up to me and say, Fausto, how do you not know what these companies do? Because I really don't care. First, I don't want to know. And if I did, what does it matter what I think? And I'll prove it to you, okay? What do these stocks have in common? APT up 300% in 3 days. Okay, anyone heard of this stock, APT? Anybody heard of APT? Okay. How about IBO? IBIO, up 400% in 3 days. Actually, they were all up at the same time. Okay? They all have in common something called Ebola. Everybody know what this thing is? Ebola? Okay. Now, just to let you know, IBIO is the company that built is the pharmaceutical company that built the antibiotics to get people the medication to fight Ebola. APT was the company that built the rubber suits that those people were walking around to protect them, okay? And also there was one other stock called Lake, which was the big winner. That one, let me bring that one up too. I forgot, I didn't mention that one. Here's Lake. And if you look here, Lake went from $7 to $29. Okay. Now, pump and dump. You could do whatever you want. You could do it. You could look at it and call it what you want. At the end of the day, I don't care who got in, got out. I made my day's pay. Did I make that much? No. But if you pull 10% movement at any one of these stocks, it's a hell of a lot more than some people can make in a lifetime. All right. So these are the things that we look at when it comes to trading in the market. Now, how do we find these stocks? We find them in our percentage gainers. We find our percentage losers. But most importantly, you find them in our trading room. And this is what we teach you what to do. Christopher says, all these stocks that you mentioned have spiked up, not had normal run-ups. How do you find these stocks? Well, Christopher, if you listen to me carefully, I just mentioned it. We find them in our percentage gainers and losers list. Okay, we find them that they're moving in pre-market. Okay, so when I do my morning meetings, we find these stocks run up before they're out there. Okay, you hear them. Listen. Anybody know any catastrophe that's going on right now around the world? Any good catastrophes going on? Because unfortunately, catastrophes make for opportunities. All right, because wherever there's a catastrophe, there's a stock that has something. There's someone out there that's going to profit from it. If it was the tsunami in Japan, there was a cleanup company that cleaned the radiation. If there was an infection of a company, pharmaceutical company that's got the antibiotics for it, Linda, right? Okay. If it was Hurricane Sandy, all right, and everyone starts buying generators, and Home Depot and Generac took off. I mean, there's always something out there that is going to trickle down. The battery companies that build the batteries for what's the big thing now? Battery cars, right? Battery cars are the big things that are coming out. Okay, so have you guys had a chance to take a look at some of the stocks like which ones are they again? BLDP, that came out with some news, and Plug, all these stocks. Yeah, solar stocks. What about solar stock? Anybody trade any solar stocks? What happened with FSLR today? Right? Let me bring it up. Let me show you. FSLR, 2-day chart right here. This stock went from 49 down up to 57. Moved a hell of a lot more than Apple. ACPT, was that the other one? Which one? It was FSLR, and there was another one that made a big move today. Oh, the SPLR. There it is. SPWR. $28 to 32. I'll take it. Nothing wrong with that. Now, very good question that came across here. And, Peter's question is, how do you train FSLR? Well, what did I mention earlier? You follow the money. That's how you trade it. Are you following the money, Peter? Are you seeing 70% of the volume out there, Peter? If I was able to teach you how to follow 70% of the money, what's that worth to you, Peter? Well, guess what, Peter? Peter's saying it's very hard to check 20,000 stocks. Well, Peter, no, it's not. No, it's not. You know why it's not? Because you're listening to someone who's going to show you how to do it. And guess what? I personally guarantee it. Any problem with that? Because what's the worst thing that could happen? It's not what you invest to learn it. It's your time. So that's the way you look at it. So anyway, potential income. 1,000 shares. You buy 1,000 shares of stock and moves 50 cents, $500 a day. Over the course of 12 months, you're talking over $100,000 a year. Okay? Not bad for a part-time job. How many of you here are on Social Security? How many of you here are trading your own IRAs? How many of you here are unemployed, or you're too qualified to go back to work because nobody's paying enough? What do you need them for? Go do it yourself. This is the best job in the world that you don't have to go to college and pay $250,000 and then trying to find a job on top of that. This is the best job in the world that you don't have to open up your own business, invest in employees, invest in rent, invest in merchandise, and then find out the hard way it doesn't work out and trying to liquidate and get out of all these headaches. If it doesn't work out, you could just cash out, But every single one of you are here for one reason and one reason only. You're trying it, you love it, you like it, but you just didn't find the right guy to teach you how to do it yet. So why is that? Because every single one of you need a mentor. All right? Listen, I have a mentor, and I had several mentors. All right? And you know what? I'm still learning. Like, for example, anyone coming to the New York Traders Expo? Anyone going to be here at the Money Show Traders Expo here in New York? I'm going to be doing a speaking there on Sunday. I got three speaking spots. I'm going to be on a panel. Listen, even though I'm there, I'm going to be listening to other traders. Any little thing I can get a little edge, it's going to help me out, makes me great traders, and I'll prove it to you. Anyone here follow sports? Why does Tiger Woods need a coach? Why does he need 4 coaches? I thought he's a great golfer. Great traders never stop learning, and great athletes always need to be coached. Doug says, CHGG, don't know what they do, but I've just made $150 during Fausto's class. Well, thanks a lot, Doug. If you could, Doug, are you in the cyber group room? Because just to let everybody know, anyone that's in here that's a student, you can't, nobody could see the chat. But if you're in the cyber group room, you could definitely share it in there, Doug. So if you want to post that up there, I'll try to copy and paste it. But there you go. All right. So just to kind of let you know, ladies and gentlemen, CyberTrade University teaches for more brokerage firms than any school in the industry. Okay, TradeStation, FXCM, Thinkorswim, TradeMonster. We've been on, if you go on their sites, you'll find that we've done many, many videos. We've done mechanics courses. You see, these brokerage firms want to keep you as a client forever. And the only reason why people fail is because no one went out there and trained them how to, it's very expensive to acquire a student or a client. They don't want to lose you, so they want you to get educated. And that's why we do so many events with them, because they really are not allowed to teach you, for compliance purposes. So that's why they always recommend you guys to come to CyberTrade University. Now, how can we start learning today? How do we start learning today? Well, what I like to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I like to invite all of you to come and join me for 1 week in the trading room. Okay? How many of you here are very skeptical? So you're like, I don't know if this sounds too good to be true. Right? You probably hear it all the time. My father always told me when something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Okay? Well, there's only one way to guarantee that. Okay? The only way to guarantee it is that I'm going to charge you $30 to come watch me trade live, and you join my students that I train, my hundreds of students in my live training room, okay? I want you to join me for a week, and it's going to start today. It's going to start today, and I personally guarantee that if you don't like it, I'll give you money back, all right? If I can't, and listen, I will show you stocks that go up 20, 50% a day. Some of you said, how do you find these stocks? They're impossible. No problem. I'm going to show it to you. Some of you are mentioning, where do you find these stocks? No problem. I'll show it to you. And the thing I want you guys to remember is don't judge me on the winners. Judge me on the losers, okay, and how we control those losers and get out of them. Because not all my stocks, everything we trade are winners. You got to look at me being the captain. I'm going to take you fishing. I'm going to show you how to catch it. I'm going to show you where it is, but I'm going to show you how to do it yourself. And that's the thing that we're going to use. So if you want to register, this is what you need to do. You can call us at 877-70-CYBER, or better yet, come to cybertradeuniversity.com. Let me just give you the link. And right on the home page, do you want to turn 29,000 to thousands? Just click right here on the home page. It's 100% guaranteed. You got nothing to lose. Just register online, and you'll be able to have access to the room immediately. Oh, and also, we are going to be having a meeting in the trading room at 2:30, so you see what we'll be trading going into the afternoon. No. Bill says, do we only trade stocks? No, we do options, we do Forex, we do futures. We have several instructors that are in there, including myself, that do live broadcasts. Question here, Rita says, hold on, you want the phone number? Yes. The phone number is right here, 877-70-CYBER or 516-280-5350. You can register over the phone. Not scheduled. I work full-time, so this is from Rick, and I don't have the weekends off, but have come Mondays off and approximate every other Monday off. Well, Rick, can I tell you something? Listen, if I could show you how to make, my goal is I teach people how to make about $1,000 a day. That's my goal, okay? Forget about work, stressing yourself out, expenses, get in the work. You know what? You have your job. Why don't you just come in and all you need is 1 day in the room on Monday, okay? And then you realize every single one of you should learn how to trade, and every one of you should try it. The worst thing that could happen to you is that you realize it's not for you. That's the worst thing that could happen. But what you're going to find out that, you know what, you might be able to replace your job because you're going to do this for the rest of your life. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And when is you're going to do it now, or you could do it when you retire, but you need to start learning somehow. And the market's been on fire lately. You've watched the Dow Jones. We broke over 18,000. We've been on fire with the market. Now I want you to learn how to do it right. Question from Corbin says, one question, is there a way to hide your orders? Yes, it's called order no-show. I show you how to do that in class, so you're not being exposed. To Aldi, are you different from the morning meeting trading room? It's the same room. It's just that there's different styles or different stocks we're looking, trading in the morning hours and the afternoon hours. Well, question is, what will you cover during those 1 week trials? Well, you're going to see high frequency trades. You're going to watch pre-market trading. You're going to see stocks, how to trade in direct access. You're going to see, most importantly, you're going to see traders, now I wouldn't say traders, but people like you that started just like you that are making money doing it. That's what you're going to basically see. Robert, what do I use? Well, I use about 2 or 3 of them. I don't really have a preference because I do education for 50 brokerage firms, but they're all the same. It doesn't matter what I use. We have no allegiance or exclusivity, which is what you want to hear. But what we do have is, if you take a course with us, every one of you are a case-by-case basis on what would be the right brokerage firm for you. And when you talk to one of our education advisors, they'll explain it to you. Can you do this? Okay, question, changing brokers we have now. Well, listen, first things first, don't worry about your brokerage account. Okay, you have an account, keep it, just don't trade it. Just log into the trading room, and then you'll see what to ask. Because you know what? Everybody's like, I don't want to do this until I open up a brokerage account. That's the last thing you want to do. That's like saying your child comes up to you and says, I want to go buy a car. I just turned 17. They're like, you didn't even pass your road test. I don't care. They said I'm allowed to buy it at the dealership. What do you think is going to happen to that kid? Okay, what do you think is going to happen to your child? He's going to crash and get hurt. And whose fault is that? Is you. I look at you as the same thing. You're my child, and I'm telling you, you open up a brokerage account, you're going to lose miserably. I hate to say it. It's a 90% failure rate. So why not take a chance for $29 and see if it's for you or not? And it's guaranteed. If you don't like it, you get your money back. Ashley, who offers level 3? The exchanges offers level 3. Brokerage firms offer level 3. Everyone offers it. It's $30, Robert, for a whole week. It's not for one day, and your training starts today. The room helps futures traders too. Yes, it does. We cover futures in there also. Any other questions? I registered. How do I log in? Okay, I just bought online. The question is, okay, if you bought it online, when you log into your dashboard, you'll see a window where you automatically enter the room. The best thing for you to do is call the office, talk to one of the education advisors. We have several of them that are standing by. If the line's busy, just keep trying. But everyone here will be assigned an education advisor. He'll explain to you what you purchased. You also get a couple of workshops with it on your dashboard, and we want to make sure you prepare what you're looking at when you actually attend. So, Jacob says you're starting a subscription the first month. Okay, starting in next week. That's fine. How long are you trading per day? Well, we trade from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The room's open all day, but most of the action. 70% of the volume only happens about an hour of the day. Jason, I talked to an advisor. Did you get an email? If he hasn't got back to you, you're probably really busy. Listen, there was like 200-300 people here. We do this almost like we had a lot of events, and I apologize, it hasn't got back to you, Jason. But send me here. Let me give you my email address, and I'll make sure you get taken care of. But just send it to faustop@ctucorp.com, okay? Gary, regarding about how much money you need, that's a misconception. That's not that. Number one, doesn't apply for everybody, and number two, you don't need a lot of money to do this. Let me see. Thanks again. Got to run over another webinar. I'll start my free trial beginning for the next week. No problem. But once again, I'll look forward to seeing you in there, Trudy. How do you get a broker? Well, Sophia, the thing that you need to do is when you register with CyberTrade University and you do the trial, you'll have an education advisor. He's going to ask you a couple of questions, and he'll tell you, you might have a brokerage firm who we might be recommending. We'll just connect you and get the VIP service that you need, so you're not dealing with some, Tom, Dick, and Harry on the other side of the phone. So to get the best value of what you're dealing with and what to ask for, and have the right, because a lot of these brokerage firms offer different types of levels of execution, and you need to know why you need this and why you don't need it. You got to remember, you want to do this right. There's no cutting corners when it comes to trading. Any other questions? All right, well, you know what? I have to go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry we went a little bit later. Listen, the lines are open, 877-70-CYBER, $29, 100% guaranteed. Come and watch this trade for a week. Get the videos, enjoy, and you know what? Watch you see how we convert $29 to 29,000s of dollars, okay? And I'm not blowing smoke. You'll see it when you log in immediately right after this event. Thank you very much, guys. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a lot. Look forward to seeing you upcoming events. Don't feel free to register for any future events at CyberTrade University, stocks, options, futures, Forex. We do them all. But please, the most important thing I want to leave you all off with is you have to learn before you could earn. So please find a mentor. If it's not us, find somebody. But please do it right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming, and enjoy your rest of your week, and hopefully see you all in the trading room. Have a great day.